This is the placeholder music until we get a new theme song. The show starts now. Hi, this is Toby.
And I'm Zeph.
And this is The One That Got Away, maybe.
Starting now.
Okay, so the title, is the reason I say maybe is because the title is a maybe. We might change it because Zeph doesn't like it.
Yeah, no, it's so bad.
Because Zeph is the worst. Okay, so if the audio is really terrible, that's because I bought these mics for $1, and they're from 1992.
Only the best for our listeners.
Yes, we have a casting crew of 800 here supporting us. We have four coffee girls. It's getting pretty crazy. So normally we'd have a guest on, and we maybe scheduled a guest, but then she had to go to her brother's football game, so that's not it. We don't have a guest today.
Such is the life of a high schooler.
But yeah, we are in high school. I'm a junior.
I'm a senior.
And
ladies, that goes out to you.
Okay. And yeah, so here we are, first episode. Getting ready. Hang on one second. Getting tired of holding my mic. Okay, so basically the idea of this podcast is we bring guests on, or we do it ourselves, and we talk about the story of like your first relationship, or your first crush, or your first little kid you chased around the playground and then caught them and didn't know what to do.
Or when you first realized that you were gay. No,
probably not that, because that sounds a little bit too dramatic. Maybe that, though, if it's a funny story about the first time you... See, I don't want to get into this.
We first have to make friends with a homosexual person, and then we can ask them to be on the podcast.
Well, I'm convinced that Zeph is gay, but that's just because he acts like a huge faggot. Okay, I immediately apologize to any gay listeners we have. Not that we have any listeners at all to start out with, but right. I immediately apologize. I'm not a homophobic person.
Just two dudes in
faggot is just a fun word. Faggot is a fun word, I think.
Just love to say it.
Okay.
If you can guess, we're single.
That's okay, right. So that's our time. We're out of here. Thanks, everyone, and good night. No, just kidding. Okay. Right. So... this is our first episode, so we're very shaky on it. So to get comfortable, I have prepared. Well, I haven't prepared, but I'm gonna make up on the fly.
No preparation.
There was no preparation to this other than buying the mics. So we actually downloaded the software today, a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
So to get us comfortable around the mics, I'm gonna ask a few questions, and normally there'll be a guest that will ask these two, but today I'm gonna ask them to Zeph, and then I will give an answer also.
All right.
So first question. Let's see. Your ideal first date. Go.
Ideal first date. Well, I've always been a fan of the classic movie and like dinner situation. Calm, nice, easy, no pressure. Really, well, some pressure at the dinner because you have to make small talk, and I'm very bad at that.
So what's the guy's name that goes with you on this first date?
Well, I recently actually took this girl. Well, not recently. I took this girl on this one date once. That was really nice because there's this dollar theater located. Not cheap, ladies. But there's this dollar theater located right next to this Froyo yogurt shop.
Oh, yes, Kiwi yogurt. Loco, I'm familiar.
Kiwi Loco, so good. So we went and we saw a dollar theater, Despicable Me 2, I think.
Yeah.
You couldn't go wrong with like a DreamWorks Disney movie, animated. And then we went and got Froyo and we just walked around the plaza.
So how was the hand job?
What is our age group here? What kids?
Well, I don't really know. See, okay, so we're never gonna G-rate this, okay?
Definitely not gonna G-rate this. But
I feel like because what I'm planning on having is I'm having Olivia like draw it. Like if you don't know, there's these videos that we watch called the We Have Girlfriends videos. You should check them out. They are basically like these three guys talk about stories about like that they're adults, but they talk about stories like about their friend that pooped in a person's yard once.
Awesome.
And then they draw them on Adobe Flash, and so instead of like watching them or just listening to them, it's like animated and it's really funny.
Oh.
So what I'm planning to do, because you have to put this up online, you have to pay for an audio hoster.
Right.
So I was planning on just having Olivia draw it, and then syncing up the audio with the drawings, and then putting it on YouTube. So anyone can listen to it on YouTube. We're not gonna put the 18-year-old on this one unless the drawings are somehow rated R. But I'm gonna tell her to keep those PG-13.
Okay.
Oh
man.
But as for our target audience, I guess like high schoolers, probably.
Sure, why not?
I mean, maybe
Friends.
probably middle schoolers also.
Let's face it, okay, we're not that popular.
Yeah,
we're gonna get like
we're
a few
what
friends,
you might call nerds.
and then family. None of my family though, because I'm Mormon. My family's not gonna want to hear me say faggot. And
I mean,
job.
I mean, at least Zeph's a nerd. I'm sitting in a leather jacket smoking a cigarette right now.
Sure.
Because I'm a cool kid.
Oh, my laugh is gonna mess up all this audio.
No,
but no,
just when you laugh, just lean it back a little bit from the microphone.
Lean back. My headphones don't reach that far. My main reason though was that it was actually very nice. Just calm, frozen yogurt, walked around the plaza. We talked forever, and then I eventually dropped her off at home.
Who was the girl? Do I know her?
Girl? Yeah, you do. You know Avi.
You was with Avi?
That was with Avi. Yeah.
Didn't you go homecoming with her?
Yeah, I went to homecoming with Avi.
Are you guys like...
Not to make things awkward. No, we're not.
Oh, okay. Hey, Avi, if you're listening, Zeph wants me to tell you that he loves you still, and he wants you back, baby. All right, let's take some callers. Oh, I forgot, we don't have a phone here. Okay.
No phone.
Also, no listeners, because this is not
radio.
This is not radio, this is recorded, so no callers. Okay, so my ideal first date is, it's going to the fair. Because I have a theory that the fair is the most romantic place in the universe. Which may sound stupid because, there's a bunch of legal immigrants or ex-cons that just are pushing you onto these death trap of rides, and there's animal poop everywhere if there's a petting zoo, or if there's not, it just smells like animal poop.
If you cannot find a job, then you have not applied to, like, a carnival.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyone can work at a carnival.
It's true, it's so easy working at a carnival. But basically, why it's so romantic is you go at night, okay? So first of all, it's at night, so it's like, and it's always
dark. Yes,
so it's dark.
Toby.
No, dark is like romantic. All right, so it's dark, and it's always a little chilly. So she wants to get close to you, and there's also a bunch of other couples there that are always holding hands, and it's also a crowd of people, so it's easy to like you're surrounded by people that are like all having fun, and it's a ton of fun. So it's super romantic.
A dinner date is kind of awkward sometimes because it's just you two back and forth.
Yeah, yeah. Like, you never want to go on a first date, especially. You never want to go on a date that's like just you and the girl, because then that's like it's a little awkward.
Group dates are awesome.
Group dates are awesome. I always try to, whenever I go on a first date with a girl, I always try to schedule like a group date.
Right.
I remember in
me and Avi's first date was a group date.
Guys, okay, so this is our first actual story that is along the theme of what our show's about.
All right, let's hear.
All right, so in 8th grade,
Wait, does my story not count?
I guess yeah. I guess okay. So our second story. My first story. Okay. So, in 8th grade, I dated this girl who's probably listening to this in the future. Her name's Becky. I'm not gonna give. We're not gonna give last names because
we're famous and we've made millions, so everyone listens to our podcast.
Yes,
now.
In the future. Yeah, in the future.
So, jinx,
well, when I said that, I meant just like in the future, as in when we post this. But that's also true. We are gonna be rich in the future.
Okay.
So I dated this girl named Becky, and we went to see Percy Jackson and the Olympians.
Awesome.
On Valentine's Day.
That's romantic, but
and if you don't remember, which you probably don't, it was the second day that movie came out. So, and it was a huge deal because that book series was really popular at the time. So, this movie came out, and like we go into the theater, we're surrounded by like 6th graders, right? We're in 8th grade, so we think we're hot shit. We think we're the coolest people ever. And we're surrounded by 6th graders, and I like buy our tickets, and the cashier goes, "Oh, they're so cute!" And it's like, and so we're surrounded by 6th graders, and we go into the theater, and my friend Haley is also there. And so at the time we were like the trio. We were the trio. We were really nerdy. We were like the trio. And we went to see this movie. I didn't even sit next to Becky. I ended up sitting next to Haley because I was that like uncomfortable on a date. So that's why I always suggest a group date on a first date, because you can like, if you're really, really uncomfortable, you can just pass the responsibility of being on a date over to your friends.
Oh, it's a classy gentleman here.
Yeah.
Just passing the date.
I paid for her ticket and then did not sit next to her.
Awesome.
The other reason a movie date, I disagree with you, Zach. Movie dates are not good for first dates because you don't get to talk to the girl.
By yourself, yeah, it's a little awkward, but I love group dates. Those are pretty cool.
It's actually, that's not true. It's good to go see a movie date if you're going to see a movie that's been out for a while, because like a lot of times you can get the theater all to yourself, and then you can yell stuff and like mess around in the theater.
All right. So
keep in mind we are not adults. We are high schoolers that would do that in a theater.
A 16 and 17-year-old. But okay, I take back my first date. First date, movie dinner, I guess. First date, group date. It can be whatever. Fair sounds great.
Group date.
Dinner date with the group. That's a first date idea situation. Second, third date, sure. I'll rock the whole movie, dinner, whatever. So back to your story, Toby.
Right. Well, that was not much story. We went. Oh, well. Okay. So the theater that we went to is right next to an ice cream store. It's Ben and Jerry's, right?
Awesome.
So like the reason you go to
Premiere.
the we went to a premiere. So the reason we went to that theater, like we could have gone to another theater that's not next to an ice cream place, but the reason we went there is so we could get ice cream afterwards,
Obviously,
right?
duh.
Right? Duh, because we're in 8th grade, we want to buy ice cream. So we go to the theater and we get out of the movie, and there's the theater, by the way, was packed. Like the reason I didn't sit next to Becky was because we were late to the movie, and like the theater was already like there were the theater easily held probably 150 people, not that many, like 75 people.
True.
And there were 76 people sitting in it already. Like there were so many people, and so we were late, and so the lights were already dimmed, and us walking in was like a huge inconvenience. So we like scooted into the only 3 seats available, and I just happened to be standing next to Haley when we scooted in, and so to be like, Haley, switch spots with me would have been a huge inconvenience to everyone around me.
Teabag just all over the place. You don't do that.
Yeah, you don't do that. You don't go into a theater and be like, hey, let's interrupt everyone's movie experience so I can sit next to my girlfriend. No. Well, I mean, yeah, but, you know.
Oh, was your girlfriend? Or are you just
dating?
Yeah.
We were dating, but, like, I mean, I guess, yeah, girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Like, we had
hindsight.
Well, we had also been running a club together for, like, 2 or 3 weeks. Actually, probably more than that. Probably, like 2 or 3 months. And so like we had been spending a lot of time together before we had been like dating, so it was like accelerated, you know.
All right.
Hang on, I just got another text from Nikki. She said, "Yeah, honestly, that's the real reason." By the way,
ouch.
Just backstory. We invited because we originally invited 2 of our friends, Zach and Lexi, to be on the show. They'll probably be on next time, because they're dating and we wanted to hear their story or whatever. But then they bailed, and then so we texted this girl Nikki to come on. And she said that I'm actually in a soccer tournament. And then I texted her, Zeph texted her, well, sorry you hate me. This is Zeph, by the by. This is from my phone. And then she said, yeah, honestly, that's the real reason, by the by.
You know what, Nikki? If you're listening right now, I just want you to turn it off.
Fuck you, Nikki.
Just get out of here.
You suck, dick.
And to her boyfriend Dalton, I apologize. You're like 7 feet tall and you could beat me up, but we're just joking.
Dalton, I drew a picture of you in math the other day, and you had a really square head. So I hope you have a square head in real life. I doubt you're listening to this because we are not cool enough for you to listen to it. Okay, so I guess maybe we should. Okay, well, I don't know why I'm still wearing these headphones because they don't work. So they're almost making my ears super hot. Okay, so
you're sitting next to Haley in the movie theater.
Oh, sorry. What are we doing? Well, I'm sitting next to Haley in the movie theater, and we get out, and did I mention that it's packed? So we get out, and it's packed with, like, 6th graders, too, with their parents.
Right.
And so we get out, and the 6th graders are like, oh, mommy, I want ice cream. And so we were like, wow, we didn't take this into consideration. It's the second day that this super popular movie is out. So we go to Ben & Jerry's, and the line is literally out the door into the parking lot.
That sounds great.
Like so far into the parking lot, it's dangerous. Like, they had to move for the cars. It was ridiculous. I don't know. So that's basically my story. Ending on a
fun.
Yeah. Well, there's no ending to these stories because yeah.
It sounds great, but if I can just encourage anything, don't go to the premiere. It's not worth it. It's
the internet is not just in Melbourne, Florida. You know that, right? Like
what? Well, okay. Don't go to the Melbourne,
which
Florida.
is not where we live, by the way.
You'll pay like not where we live. I'm definitely not 17 years old. Not worth it. $8 for a ticket.
Ridiculous.
Dollar theater.
Well, we went at noon. We had the matinee show. And it was like $6 for a ticket.
There you go.
Because I am cheap.
Yeah, cheap first dates. If I can give any advice to any guys out there, don't think you have to go all extravagant. Cheap first dates.
That's what I'm saying. A fare, especially if you have a job, fare's like $15 a person maximum, and then like
which is decent.
And then you guys can go to like dinner afterwards. You don't have to eat at the fair. You go to dinner afterwards. You split a pizza. Boom. That's like a solid meal, solid fair date.
Yes. Coming from a guy who's been single his whole life, I can tell you that going cheap works.
And Zeph has not been single his whole life because he's Mormon. He's been single his whole life because he's terrible. Ladies.
Mormon makes me terrible.
Right, so, like I was saying, the fair,
he's just jealous because he's not Mormon yet.
That's a little bit why I'm jealous. The fair is great because, a fair and then dinner afterwards is great because you go to the fair, right, and it's like, it's you two, but it's also like there's an icebreaker always around you, the fair. You know, there's all these people, so you don't get too serious, but you can also like, actually know about each other, you know? Relax. And then you go to dinner afterwards, and so it's quieter, and you can, like, and since the ice is already broken, you don't have to worry about you don't have to worry about being awkward or awkward silences because if there are awkward silences all throughout going to the fair, then that means that you should not go to dinner together because that means you are terrible for each other and you will end up murdering each other later on.
Not gonna work out.
Okay,
So those are our first stories. I guess suggestions. We're rocking like 14 minutes 45 seconds.
well, I was thinking this like if it's just us two, I think we should go maybe half hour.
Maybe half hour.
If
All
it's
right.
but if we have a guest, maybe an hour. I'm not sure.
Man.
Why don't we just let it roll?
Okay. If just can I say thank you? If you were sitting out there and you were listening,
If you're if you're this far into it, you're gonna stay for the rest.
We love you.
Yeah, you're our biggest fan at this
We will
point.
do
Congratulations.
shout-outs. We will do shout-outs to our number one fans.
I'm expecting a cap out at like 75 views on this, 60 of which will be from me later on, making sure that the video works.
Video.
I don't know why it is.
Audio.
Every time there's gonna be the drawing on it. You know?
Oh, that's true.
I don't know. Every time I upload a video to YouTube, I watch it like 100 times to make sure that it works. Like I'll watch it from like 10 different computers, 10 times on each computer. It's ridiculous because I'm really worried it didn't upload, and they're like, dude, it uploaded. Like I'm watching it right now on my phone. I'm like, I don't know, man. I gotta check myself.
So we'll just do like how-tos also, like how to get 100 likes guaranteed, 10 different views on 10 different computers, and then you'll have yourself 100.
That's the how-to of today's episode. That's actually a really good idea. We could do a how-to every episode of just like anything. I don't know. As I mentioned before, we did literally no preparation for this.
I do have a cool YouTube video though. A thing I posted. Never went viral, but it's still pretty neat. For this one show, because I'm in theater or whatever, for this one show we had, where we showcase some of our events from theater for like other people or whatever, and you can come and eat dessert. We call it dessert theater. I dressed up as Napoleon Dynamite. I did the Napoleon Dynamite dance.
There's a Napoleon Dynamite dance?
Yeah, the dance where he goes on stage and Pedro comes out and he's like,
I think you're thinking of Yankee Doodle Dandy.
Yankee Doodle Dandy? No, Napoleon Dynamite. He comes out there and he does that cool disco dance. Toby's an idiot.
What disco? What? I thought you meant like Napoleon, like the French conqueror Napoleon.
Napoleon Dandy.
Okay, no, I remember that. Okay.
Okay. Anyways, and I also did a Key and Peele, another YouTuber. They're also on Comedy Central. I also did a skit with my friend, and I did the monologue from Jack Black. Jack Black's monologue, School of Rock.
Oh,
in
dude.
the end of time.
Oh,
awesome
God,
monologue.
I love Jack Black so much. No, I really don't. I love School of Rock, though. That movie's great.
But
I love School of Rock.
Super cool. It's on YouTube under Zeph Dessert Theater, like Napoleon Dynamite, Jack Black, all that good stuff. But the point being is that it probably got like 500 views max, which really isn't that great. I was excited because that's awesome. Maybe like 200, which isn't that great for YouTube. But my cousin in Arizona, her friend, came up to her and said, hey, you have to watch this video. It was super funny. And then it was me. So my cousin didn't even know about it. So yeah,
That's
my cousin's
awesome.
friend, who I do not even know, saw me, and
so guys, that's proof that Zeph is probably funny. That's proof that
that's
one person in Arizona thinks Zeph is funny.
At least one. I'm pretty sure I've claimed Florida as me being funny.
Right. Also,
Arizona.
Also, it proves that Zeph's cousin does not know what Zeph looks like.
Point being, it went viral in my own little world, in my own little self of Zeph. It went viral, and that made me so happy. And that's my YouTube story. It's my one YouTube story that I have.
Well, I have created. Well, the thing is, I have a lot of Gmail accounts because,
Right.
okay, so
Who doesn't?
I used to have because the thing is, YouTube doesn't. I'm not sure if YouTube requires you to have a Gmail account, but it requires you to have an email account, right?
Yeah.
Hang on. Sorry, I'm sick. Well, my email account that I've been using since I was a kid is, I'm not going to give it to you, but it's embarrassingly childish, as everyone's is when they make it as a kid, you know?
Yeah.
Like
mine has Transformers.
Right, like
in the title.
Mine has space and sloth in it. 'Cause my sister was like, "What are your two favorite things?" And I was like, "Space and sloths." Duh. And then so that's it. Right. So and it also said that I was 13 when I made my YouTube account. So I couldn't watch any of the videos that were like, this video's only for people that are over 18.
Right.
So I made a new one, and so I made it, and I was 13, so I named it Boobs Lols, and I probably shouldn't have given that out because now everyone's gonna email me. Well, actually, the one person that's listening to this is gonna email me. Boobs Lols, both with Z's, by the way, because I was awesome. So that way, and I set that one to say that I was 18, so I could watch all the videos, right? And then later on, when I started applying for jobs when I was 15, I realized that I should probably make one that doesn't have the word boobs in it. So I made one that said, "Oh no, this is when I got my first smartphone." I made one that was Tobes. It was my name. I gotta not give away my own. It was my name basically, but like shortened, and then the number after it. And I realized that was still super unprofessional because it was just like, it wasn't super unprofessional, but it was like not a good. Also, I was lying about my age on that one, so I made a new one and it's my name, and so that's like the one I'm using. But like on YouTube, I have four different accounts now on YouTube, and so like I when I upload Spanish videos, like last year we had to upload videos for Spanish projects, and I had to always make sure that I wasn't uploading them to boobs lols, so that like when I went on YouTube to search the video, into boobs lols at gmail.com, I emailed in a science podcast. I listen to all the podcasts, and I emailed in a science podcast the other day with a question,
right.
And I accidentally emailed in from boobs lols, and then the next week they had actual like PhD candidates on their show, and they were like, and they asked my question. I was like, oh, that's awesome. They asked a question, and then he said, keep in mind the email address did have the word boobs in it, so answer it for a person that has the email address with the word boobs in it. And I was like, great. Now they think I'm dumb.
Oh, that is so great.
So that's my YouTube story.
You know, we should make an email so that way they can.
Oh, I actually did. I did make an email before. I totally forgot about that.
Send us ideas.
It's TOTGA show at gmail.com. It's
TOTA.
No, TOTGA at. Oh, sorry. Let me start over. TOTGA show at gmail.com. And TOTJ stands for the one that got away. Okay. Which I might have to make a new one if we change our title, but we probably won't at this point.
Okay, yeah, probably not. We should need to go something like awesome, like Zeph is awesome at gmail.com.
I think that's probably that's good to pull the viewers the best.
I think pulling the listeners the most was something with my name in the title.
Especially Zeph. You can also follow me on Twitter until we make a Twitter account for it. My Twitter name is @the1Stewart. There's no underscores. You can follow me on Twitter. I might put updates. Probably not, because they're not much to update.
Lazy.
But you can follow me on Twitter so that everyone thinks I'm cool for having more followers, depending on if anyone is listening to this. Probably not, though.
So, I made a Twitter story.
Let's do it.
Years and years ago. Probably 10 or 12.
Timeout. I'm thinking we go to an hour, because this is only about a half hour. It's 9 minutes to a half hour right now, and I think we could go for an hour.
Alright, sure.
Alright, so let's cap it at an hour. Okay?
Cap it at an hour.
Cap it at an hour.
I'm 12 years old, probably 14, I don't know.
Okay.
I make 12. I was a youngin'. And I'm only 17, so
just so you know, Zeph looks like he's 9 years old right now. So, picture an 8-year-old.
Okay, I have two stories then. Because I'm 17 years old. I've been mistaken for 14 years old at 17, and I've been mistaken for 20 years old at 17. So, I'll give you those stories later. But this is the Twitter story. It's when I first discovered, like, YouTube and Gmail, and I was making all my Facebook
Could you get
accounts.
a hair closer to the mic?
A hair closer.
There you go. That's it.
Alright. I'm sorry, I'm bad at this. I'm loud. So generally I tend to back away from things. So I'm making this YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and all these different accounts or whatever. And so I was like, all right, I'll make a Twitter account and follow people but never post anything, never ask for followers. And like once every couple of years I'll get a follower for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And so I made it. I haven't touched that account probably 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
But then all of a sudden, I don't know, within the last year or two, maybe I've just been out of the loop for a long time. People are like all over Twitter. I did not know that. I thought Twitter was pretty much just for famous people. Like anyone could join, but famous people would join because millions of people would follow them. But no, I have friends all throughout high school. They're like, oh yeah, I tweeted this and it got so much drama. And I was like, what? You use Twitter?
Yeah, everyone was telling me to join Twitter because they wanted me to follow them. And then I was like, no, I don't want to do Twitter. It's so lame. And then the girl that I crushed on told me to join Twitter. I was like, I want to join Twitter. It's awesome.
Yeah, know where your priorities are.
But like, Twitter, I didn't think anyone was really into Twitter because everyone's always complaining about how lame it is.
Twitter's
but so people on Twitter, like I follow girls on Twitter that I don't really even know. Like I can't, but like I do it because like they were the first ones that I saw.
Flash forward to like 5 years from now where Toby is a convicted stalker, but go on.
Yeah, okay. But like the girls on Twitter will be like, oh my gosh, Twitter's so annoying. I don't want to hear about your dumb problems. I'm like, just delete your account then.
Unfollow, delete
just
your account.
Unfollow them. You don't have to hear their dumb problems if you don't follow them.
Oh, actually, we have a very serious message to talk about. If you're being cyberbullied out there, there's this couple of tips that'll help you out. You turn off your computer and then you
punch
walk away.
them directly in the face.
There's a couple options. Meet them in real life and kill them. Just go for it. Nobody's watching. Well, if someone is watching, then you're stupid and you deserve to go to jail. Or two, just turn your computer off. Best situation. And I can't tell if I'm being real or sarcastic here. Pretty sure I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah, both of those are terrible advice.
Cyberbullying is pretty
What you should do is tell an adult. That's what you should do.
Okay, seriousness, tell an adult. Okay, now my other story. So I'm 17 years old. I probably don't sound like it. 17. I was born in 96. Well, what? 90s kid, except not really.
Whoa, dude, you're gonna give me your birth year like that? That's crazy.
90s. I'm not giving my date, son. I mean, I'm 17
There's
years
a
old.
1 in 365 chance that they could get it right.
I'm 17 years old, so, I mean, they could deduce that I was probably born in 96. I'm not going to care too much. Either way. So I'm a 90s kid. And my voice is not the deepest, and it's not going to get much deeper, because if you hear my father, it's not the deepest.
Just to be clear, Zeph, earlier, he may sound high-pitched. He did just take an inhale from a helium balloon earlier.
so true.
That's why his voice is so...
My voice is actually slowly getting back to normal. This is how it usually sounds. So, no, it doesn't.
Oh my gosh, Michael... never mind. I was going to Samuel L. Jackson. I was going to say Samuel L. Jackson joke, but I accidentally said Michael J. Fox, so never mind.
Forget it. Joke ruined. So this is how I sound. Getting to the point. And I did this one web series called Welcome Home, Alice. That was just Toby got all erect. Yes, go on.
Oh, dude, no! Don't say
don't say erect. Don't say it like that. You are a junior. You look fresh. All right. So you should go check it out.
Just because I don't have a boner right now.
He sat up. He sat in his chair. Do you like that? So little sponsor. Welcome Home, Alice. I play the psychiatrist, Dr. Edwards?
Is this on YouTube?
Dr. Eldridge. It is on YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Super cool. This one girl I know who's in my theater class, when she graduated, she just wanted to do this web series just to get her talent out there, whatever. She's directing, playwright, and then I acted with a bunch of her friends. It was great. Point being, so I've been mistaken for like 2 years younger than I actually am. 3 years younger. So 14, and I sound 14.
That's 3 years younger.
3 years, whatever.
For those of you out there that are not
for those who don't understand math. But then I was talking to these kids, whatever, and they're like, "Is that how old are you?" I was like, "Oh, I'm only 17." And they were like, "What? I thought you were like 19, 20, 21."
Really?
I got 21.
Wait, who thought that?
Like a kid who's probably like 25.
Was it the person who broke the world record for being the worst at guessing ages?
No.
Because like carnivals should not hire that guy.
This kid is a legit adult. I'm gonna sound like a little fangirl right now because he has his own job. He lives with his girlfriend.
Zeph just took off his jacket. He's wearing a Bieber Forever shirt under it.
He has his own. He's pretty cool. He's 25 years old. He's being an adult and stuff. He told me he thought I was 20, and I was like, that is super awesome. Never been mistaken for 20 before, but apparently I'm more mature than some 20-year-olds that they know. So there you go.
I have a story about this.
I was born in 93. Is that 20? Yeah.
Well, I used to go to summer camp every summer, like a full-on like sleepaway summer camp. I live in Florida. We live in Florida, and
Represent.
And I went to camp in Vermont. So like I would fly to my grandma's house who lived in Connecticut, and then drive 6 hours to Vermont to go to camp. And one year, actually this camp was in New Hampshire. One year I went to this camp, and what happens is every 2 weeks there's a session, and so like you could sign up for 1 session or 2 sessions, and at the end of the session, basically half the kids go home, and then the next day the second half kids arrive. Right, so like the half the kids go home after the first session because they only signed up for 1, and then the next session half the kids come, like another half of kids come back for the next session.
Yes.
Right. Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay. So all the kids.
Do you understand the sessions, people?
I stayed.
The integrity to the story about the session.
It's really important. It's really not that important. Okay. So I always stayed for 2 sessions, and my entire cabin only signed up for 1 session. So after the first session, all the kids left, and I was the only one in the cabin with my counselor. And so my counselor was friends with the counselor in one of the older kids' cabins. So he was like, "Hey, do you want to go and like sleep in the older kids' cabins tonight? Because I want to hang out with my friend." He was not that responsible of a counselor.
Oh my gosh.
He was like, "Hey, I want to go hang out with my friend. Come hang out with me." He was almost gonna go and like take me to one of the girls' cabins because he wanted to hang out with his girlfriend.
Did you say no? Because if you said no, I am severely
disappointed. It wasn't my call. The girlfriend was like, "No, dude, you'll get in huge trouble if you do that."
Oh, okay.
So anyway, I go to the girls' cabin. I mean, not the girls' cabin. I go to the older kids' cabin.
Road did it anyways.
And every single one of the kids was like, well, first of all, I was 8 at the time, so I walk in and they're like blasting hardcore rap on some kid's iHome, and I'm like, okay, so I just came to the scariest place in the world for an 8-year-old. And it was an international camp, and this Russian kid gets up and he goes, "Turn that fucking shit off!" And then he knocks the iHome off the dresser, and it breaks. And I'm like, okay, so I'm gonna get stabbed tonight, like immediately. So anyway, I walk in, and my counselor goes over and says hi to his friend, and these 2 kids get on their bunk, and they go, "Who's this little bitch?" They literally said that to an 8-year-old, and I was like, what? Okay. So there was an empty bunk, so I went over to the empty bunk, and And that last part wasn't true, guys. The little bitch part. I'm sorry. I lied to you. Okay. So
for the sake of the story, we'll forgive him.
So then I'm laying next to this kid, and this kid I actually knew him. He's kind of nice. He's like, oh, so are you coming to stay in our cabin next session? And I was like, no, dude. I'm like the youngest group. And he's like, what, really? And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, how old do you think it was? He's like, maybe 16. I was 8. 8. He was like, maybe 16. I was like, are you the most terrible person? Like, what? Basically, I'm 16 now. If that kid was a bouncer at a bar, I could get into that bar by that kid's logic. Okay, yeah. And so I don't know. That's my story. I ended up not getting stabbed that night, but I'm pretty sure they peed on me. I'm 90% positive because remember I'm 8, so I went to bed at like 9:30, and they were up till like 11. So I'm almost sure they were like, "Hey, let's pee on this kid," but I have no proof.
Did you wake up smelling pee? That's the eternal question.
Well, I woke up like wet, but it was like 90 degrees that night, which was weird because it was usually like 40, but it was like 9, so I could have been sweating. It's like I woke up, my hair was like kind of wet, so it could have been sweat, could have been pee, not sure.
Most likely pee. Most likely, if anything, it was pee. Of those two circumstances, the most likely is pee.
Are you sure there's not 100 cats in this room right now?
Are you allergic to cats?
Because I'm not allergic to cats. It smells like a box of cat shit. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, it smells terrible.
So,
do you know Victoria?
Yeah.
Victoria Lynch? Okay, well, I'm not saying anything bad about Victoria's great. But I went to her house.
She has a lot of cats.
She's a lot of cats. I went to her house to watch. Thanks for ruining the story, though. To watch Doctor Who, and we had like a viewing party. And I walked in, and immediately I was like, "Holy crap! It smells like crazy cats in here." And I was like, "Why does it smell so much like cats?" And I look over. I kid you not. I walked 6 inches in the doorway. I look over. 3 cats. I'd seen 3 cats 6 inches into her house. And later on, I was like, well, I guess she owns 3 cats and they like hang out near the doorway, which is why it smells so bad. And then later on, she mentioned that she owns, I'm gonna get a little closer to the microphone so you hear this, 15 cats. 15. An insane amount of cats.
Oh, man. Okay. So my room, apparently, I don't smell it because I live in this room. This is my abode.
How many cats live in this house?
We have never had a cat.
You've never had a cat?
So apparently, my sister told me this like all the time. She's like, "Zeph, your room stinks. Open a window." And I do. The smell doesn't go away. Pretty sure it's me, but I shower on a regular occasion.
I believe you shower, but I think you might be growing cat hair, not human hair.
I think maybe I let my window open. Some cat somehow uses its magic powers. It's a Cheshire cat. Opens the plastic frame, the screen frame, so it doesn't tear anything. Gets in here, sheds all over everything, and then leaves before I wake up.
There's a Cheshire cat that comes and just sheds everywhere.
If science has taught me anything, this is the most, it's not about my BO, it's not about my room just collecting my stuffiness from not opening up my windows over the years. It is that is a Cheshire cat comes in while I sleep.
That is actually possible. Like, my dad, he used to have a cat, and so, he died, but, rip Sola.
Wow,
but,
this was supposed to be a comedic podcast.
Yeah,
Thank you, Toby, for doing that.
So my dad's cat, my dad had a cat, and what happened, my dad used to travel a lot, and so, it was, don't worry, he would, put out a ton of water and, a ton of food. My cat had one of those self-feeding things where, it was in a big tub and it would roll down, never mind, it's not important. So the cat, so when my dad came home, he would open up all the doors and windows in the whole house to get rid of the cat smell, because it smelled like crazy cats.
Right, true.
And then, because there were, 2 litter boxes full of poop.
Makes sense.
So he would, and then sometimes, because he lived in, a really safe neighborhood, he didn't own any good stuff, he would, go grocery shopping and leave the back door, the back, sliding glass door open, and his porch was screened in, but apparently one of the screens were broken. He came back one time, and there was another cat sitting in his living room. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. He came back one time, closed the door, and then 2 hours later, he left again to come pick me up, and then he brought me back, and there was another cat sitting on his couch that had apparently snuck in through the door, and then hidden somewhere. Probably not hidden to hide from him, but hidden, just because cats hide, just, they're impossible to find.
Cats do that.
Cats are impossible to find. They're the ninjas of house pets.
If you've never owned a cat, you'll never find one.
Right, you might own a cat, and you might just not know it, because they're impossible to find. Right, so he, for all we know, that cat could have been there for 10 years, and he would have never known it.
True.
He got the cat out eventually, but, it's totally possible that you could own a cat and not know it. I think that's entirely possible.
Yes.
Especially if you have, do you have rats?
Rats? No.
I don't think we're in 18th century.
I've had mice.
I don't think. Oh, 18th century.
Mousetrap story.
15th
It's a
century.
sad one. I have a mousetrap story,
Aww.
but yeah, we've had mice.
I feel so bad for mousetraps, not for mice. Like I caught mousetraps.
I feel so bad for mousetraps. They have to do all that work of snapping the mouse's neck.
Actually, no, I don't, because
dude, there's a cup of water right behind you. If you're gonna keep coughing.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my gosh, you're stupid. Just drink it down it all. Oh my gosh, he's chugging. You're gonna make a great alcoholic.
Oh man, I just finished the whole glass.
He's gonna make a great alcoholic one day.
I just drank a gallon of water. That was insane.
So going on, what were you saying?
Oh right. I forget. What was I saying?
Okay.
Something about cats.
My story now. Completely.
Guys, cats are dope. Okay, I just want to say that.
I'm a dog person, but I've owned cats. Cats are pretty chill. So either way, 4 years ago, 3 years ago.
5, 4, 3. Be specific. Which
4.
one?
4
years ago. We're gonna settle on 4.
Settle on 4. Settle on the average. We're living in this house, same house that we're podcasting in right now, and we're seeing like these little brown black little pods everywhere. Like they'll be in a corner, a pile, trip.
They're poops, right?
Yeah, I mean mouse poops.
Mouse poops, right?
We found cat poops everywhere. Then we would not be suspicious.
Oh, time out. I know this great comedian. He hosts a podcast I listen to. His name is Andy Wood. But he has this joke, and he's like, I just got ants at my place, so I had to get ant traps. And like, you put out the ant traps, and all the ants go into them, and then they leave, and you can, like, watch them die a little bit. And then he goes, oh, wait, did I say ants? I meant cats. And then it's really funny. Okay, sorry, I remember that.
Thank you, Toby.
Sorry.
Point being, we bought Humane. We tried Humane, where it's this plastic case, and then a flap opens while the mouse crawls to the back to get the treat that you put in there, and then it just closes behind them, and then you can release them later. We tried Humane. That
seems so inefficient.
No, it works.
Really? Then you have to go around and get. I understand. No, I understand the concept of the rat trap. I get that. I don't understand. Like, then you would have to. You don't even be able to catch like one mouse every day. Like, that's so. They breed like 5,000 times a year. Like, I'm not sure that's right.
No,
that's probably not.
Bunnies,
I'm not.
Bunnies.
Do not trust me on that.
Bunnies are trusting. No, they're not. But if you want to kill a bunny, just.
Did you say bunnies are trusting?
Yeah, they're not.
How would you know that? Bunnies trust people.
I have wild bunnies in my neighborhood. Another story.
Oh yeah, I knew that. I knew that. I saw them the other day when we were driving away.
Point being, we tried Humane, didn't work, and so of course we're tired of this because it's getting into our food. We have little mouse, and it was just one, so we only killed one mice. And spoiler alert, we killed it. Classic mousetrap. It worked because we laid out that Humane thing for months, maybe weeks. I'm not sure how long. We laid it out for a while. Was what I thought. And one night we laid out the regular mousetrap. We didn't hear the snap, but we saw it in the morning. So it's kind of sad.
Yeah, you never hear the snap.
You never hear the snap, but it's sad. But it died quickly. I can tell you that the way that I'm not going to give you gruesome details, but the way that the trap closed on the mouse, it was quick. It was painless.
The exterminators tell you to use traps instead of poison because poison, like, really it takes a while to kill them. There's no guarantee that it'll kill them. So like they could just get poison. Has anyone seen the first episode of Breaking Bad? When the guy... Actually, I'm not going to spoil this.
You said the first episode. How are you going to spoil it? That's like the very first episode?
It's crazy, dude.
Oh, okay.
Well, I'm not even going to talk about... No,
we're going to talk about Breaking Bad in a bit, because I don't get all the hype. I don't get all the hype.
What? Have you seen it?
Okay.
The poison, like, they'll get the poison in their lungs, and then, like, sometimes they won't get enough of it, because it'll start hurting immediately, so then breathing will hurt for the rest of their lives, and they, like, won't necessarily die from it. But, like... The traps, exterminators recommend the traps. My dad actually, he had a mouse in his house, and then that mouse carried the house on his rouse for louse house. No, okay, so he had mice, we had one mouse, and he bought a trap, and he put like Tom and Jerry style, put a little square of cheese on the.
It works. You'd be surprised.
It totally didn't. Like the old ones work. Like the old Victorian mouse traps that are like made of solid iron. They work because they're so sensitive. But the newer mouse traps are required to be less sensitive because kids will like play with them. And which is so dumb because if kids playing with a mousetrap, it's going to be triggered. Like,
you're a horrible parent, and you need to call child services on
kids
yourself.
Will play with them, and they'll like break fingers. They're so powerful. But so he put a block of cheese on it, and he came back the next day. The block of cheese was gone, but the mousetrap had not been triggered yet. Yeah,
have you ever seen
Mouse Hunt? No shit, he did that. Okay, like that happened.
Mouse Hunt with Nathan Lane.
No,
like that mouse. Oh, classic movie. Oh, Mousetrap.
No, this story goes on. So he then decides he gets a little plastic cup with like the 1 ounce cups, and he puts peanut butter in it. And oh no, what he did, he put cheese in that one, and so the mouse had to like put its paws up on the thing to get the cheese out of the peanut butter cup.
Right.
For the listeners at home, I'm making a gesture that makes no reference to that at all. And so, but instead, the mouse just took the cup because he came back the next day and it wasn't triggered still.
Awesome.
So then he put peanut butter in the cup. Same thing happened. The mouse just took the cup. So he spread peanut butter on the trap, and the mouse licked the peanut butter off. It didn't he came back. There was like remnants of peanut butter still on the trap, and it still wasn't triggered. And he kept putting peanut butter on. Eventually, the mouse just dumb enough put his paws on it and died. But
awesome.
it died humanely. So animal lovers out there, it's dead, but it's happy. Well, it's not happy.
It's in mouse heaven.
It doesn't have to deal with being a mouse anymore, because that would be the worst life, being a mouse.
Do you believe in reincarnation? Do you believe it's actually a person? Is that what you're saying?
What? No, I'm just saying that like being a mouse is the worst.
It's not a mouse anymore.
Everyone wants
being its human form, so it's happier.
Name one thing that wants mice alive.
If you can own mice, like people own rats.
Yeah, but you can buy mice for like $1 a piece because people buy them for snake food.
Yes, I know.
Because everything wants to kill mice. Okay,
true.
Being a mouse is like the absolute bottom of the food chain. It doesn't eat anything.
Unless you're that mouse from the movie Mouse Hunt,
or Ratatouille, or Despero.
That's a rat from Ratatouille. It's in the name.
Good point.
Dummy.
Yes, Ratatouille is the name of a soup.
Yeah, no. You're stupid.
Oh man!
Obviously,
I literally just left Zeph speechless, guys. Okay, he's speechless.
They obviously didn't choose the name Ratatouille because of the dish. It's because the main person's a rat, and the French dish.
They just named that movie Chicken Soup. just like vegetable, just vegetable soup.
Vegetable soup, and the main character's still a rat. Point being, funny movie. By the way, Nathan Lane is a hilarious actor.
Who's Nathan Lane again?
Producers, the musical.
What?
Ever seen the producers? Okay, do you watch Modern Family?
Yeah.
Modern Family.
He produces
No, he's the producers of the show. Idiot. He's one of their gay friends. Mitch's and Cam's gay friend.
Is he,
he's got the son who's in, like, Iraq over there. If you've seen the episodes religiously like I have.
I've seen all the episodes. I don't remember the one with the son in Iraq.
They're golfing.
Is he a recurring one?
Every now and then.
Oh, is he the one that they hired to plan their wedding?
I don't think so. He falls in love with the young Spanish dude.
Yeah, that's the one.
That older dude, the white guy, is Nathan Lane. He's in this movie Mouse Hunt. If you haven't seen it, then you haven't been alive for I don't know how long, because it's an old movie.
Apparently, I have not been alive.
It's not that old. It probably came out late '90s, early 2000s. Either way, it's pretty great and it's funny. But I love that movie because they just play the mouse as such a hilarious, smart figure, and it just outwits these people like all the time.
Have you seen Tom and Jerry? Because I think you would love it.
No, but I mean, like, it's not a mouse outsmarting a cat. It is a mouse outsmarting an exterminator. He blows up an exterminator. Like, almost kills an exterminator. He outsmarts a cat, straight up kills this cat called Catzilla, outsmarts his owners, and in the end, it's a happy ending. The mouse doesn't die. Nearly it does, though. Anyways, super funny movie, and just a lot of antics go on in it. And also, who's really old guy? I don't like ghosts. I need more cowbell. Who's that guy?
What?
SNL sketch.
I have no idea what you're talking. Like, no.
Oh my gosh! What is his name? He's in an SNL skit, and he goes, "I need more cowbell." I have the horrible impression, but you have to know who I'm talking about.
How would I know if you gave me a terrible
Christopher Walken. I have a great
Christopher Walken. You put your clothes in me.
What's that from?
It's Christopher Walken Closet.
Okay, that's pretty good. But no. Have you never seen that SNL?
That's a Modern Family joke. I'm not going to take credit for it.
Everyone and your mother has and their mother has seen.
I have not seen.
Have seen that SNL skit
no,
with Will Ferrell, Christopher Walken. I need more cowbell.
For those listeners at home, I'm just looking at him exasperated and empty-handed.
Toby's the idiot. I'm the funny one. Toby's the idiot.
I'm the smart one.
Okay, I'm the funny one. Toby's the smart
idiot. Guys,
idiot.
the other day in math class, Zeph and I have the same math class. We decided to have a math off, and I beat him so badly that he quit halfway through the second math problem.
Okay,
that's how good I was.
I was too busy doodling. A, because I'm a genius, and B,
doesn't make sense.
We were cool up until this point in the podcast.
Okay, all right.
If you've listened this deep into the podcast, me and Toby do math competitions.
Okay,
we are the coolest people ever.
Okay, there's something you need to know about us. Mostly me. I'm modest about a lot of stuff. Actually, that's not true. I'm very, very braggy. I have almost no modesty.
This kid is like the most vain. He came in here telling me he had the best mics.
Yeah,
ever.
I'm very vain. I came in here. I told him that I had. He could throw out all other recording system he had. I had nailed it. We're recording on basically beige sticks, if you can imagine that. That's basically what we're recording on.
Think of your Windows 95 software and the microphones that came out along with that. You remember when Dell at that time?
Remember when video chatting first came out, and you had to you bought a webcam and then you bought a microphone separate, or you bought a set that had a webcam and a microphone. That's what these mics are. They're that's actually what they are. I bought them from a used
Except they're on their own little stand. Or you can think of when Abe Lincoln was elected president, or when Eli Whitney invented the cotton gin, or when Moses parted the Red Sea. This is how old these mics are.
Yeah, Moses parting the Red Sea. That helps.
They're so old. Because it's very old.
None of those things were recordings, though.
No, I'm trying to describe how old these mics are. You're not a nerd. You're so stupid.
Yeah, I'm not a nerd. Okay.
You're a geek by association. You are so stupid.
You're just like, old stuff. Moses parting the Red Sea. That's
how old these mics are.
Hashtag reference, LOL.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Toby, you're stupid. This will be our last podcast ever.
Okay, the band's breaking up, guys.
After one episode.
Next podcast is gonna open with a Getting the Gang Back together montage, which incidentally is my favorite type of montage.
Totally.
You know, there has to be that one guy that's like, no, I'm not coming back, guys. And then like once they're all together, the door opens and it's like a silhouette. And then he's like, you came back, and he's like, yeah, someone had to keep an eye on you guys, or something like that, you know?
Something really clever, that's like, I couldn't stay away from you guys, or,
yeah,
you guys are my best friends.
No, it's like someone's got to keep an eye on you idiots, you know, that kind of thing.
Oh, you're going for cynical. I was thinking, it's like sweet,
it's getting, like, when you're getting the action gang back to, okay, whatever, hang on, we have, it looks like 14 minutes until our hour's up, so I was thinking, maybe you wanted to, like, kill it at the hour, and then record second episode, like right now, because we just keep the flow going, you know.
Let's ask the listeners. Callers, please dial in.
Let's.
Oh wait. Oh, sorry.
Right. No, we forgot again. It's a recording, and there's no listeners.
Sorry, so bad at this.
Also, no one loves us. So
we're rocking at like almost 47 minutes now,
dude. I think we've been talking for 47 minutes.
I don't talk this much. This is interesting.
It feels like we've been talking for like 15 minutes.
It feels like I don't even know how people do these 10-minute podcasts. I don't see how they do it.
Wait, really? It feels like that long to you?
People no. I'm saying like
how do they fit a whole podcast in 10 minutes? Yeah, that's great.
I said we should just cut it now.
Wait, okay, let's I want to say it. Let's just like wap it up a little. All right, sure. Okay, so a few things I want to plug. My cough. Earlier in the podcast, I talked about a science podcast that I wrote into. That's Probably Science. It's great. It's free. Just go check it out. I think I listen to it every week. It's really great. 3 comedians. Andy Wood is one of them. And they read science stories. So yeah, just go check it out. You can follow me on Twitter at @TheOneStewart. You can follow Zeph on Twitter at Terrible. At GayAF. Once again, I would like to apologize to our gay community that may be listening.
So
just for everything that I've said in this whole podcast.
we need a warning at the beginning of this podcast.
If you're gay, please don't listen to it.
If you are not a heterosexual and you do not want to be heavily offended, just turn off your computer right now.
But that might come off even more homophobic. If you said gay people can't listen to this podcast, that might come off more homophobic.
Okay, fine. If you are a homosexual, we encourage you to listen to this podcast where we poke fun at the whole sexual orientation thing a lot.
No Asians,
totally worse.
Okay, Asians are terrible.
What if our listeners have been mostly Asian up to the point where they hear this?
Like, fuck you, man, and they're just out, like,
I'm done with this. In like 3 months, I'm living on the streets.
Yeah, this podcast is our last chance to make money at 16 and 17. If this doesn't work out, we're going to be on the streets, guys, okay? Alright, so, if you're listening to this, congratulations, you've made it to the end of episode 1. Possibly the end of the entire series, depending on how the gang goes. No, just kidding.
You were
we
awesome.
Almost definitely have more episodes.
You were so awesome for listening to this
seriously, like, thanks a lot, because I'm not expecting to get many listeners to this.
I follow this other podcast, except they have video too, but they're pretty much just talking to the camera. Rhett and Link on YouTube. They're pretty famous.
I just saw
Good Mythical Morning. I don't need to sponsor them because they already have millions and millions of followers. Point being, they do like a show in 10 minutes, and sometimes I'm sitting there like, man, I can't watch this for 10 minutes. You guys are listening in at 49 minutes, like 15 seconds.
Yeah, so
you guys are awesome.
Dope. Okay,
you guys are straight up dope if you've made it this far.
Just so you know, that's a word that I throw around a lot, but I'm using it very
hashtag dope.
Now. Yeah, hashtag dope. If you're listening and you are in the Melbourne, Florida area, we might be able to like meet up and you could be on the show if you wanted. That'd be kind
totally
of cool,
true,
right?
Send us an email at TOTGA for short for or acronym for the one that got away at show. TOTGA show at gmail.com.
Right. That's kind of hard to remember, but sorry. It was originally just being TOTGA, but I mean, yeah. But Google was like,
he's an idiot.
But Google was like, no, it has to be more than 6 characters. Like, fuck you, Google.
So, yeah, send us an email there if you want to be on the show. If you have any suggestions for future shows, you just want to rock it out.
You just want to like thank us for being awesome. Or if you're on YouTube, you'll probably just want to call us gay and fake. That's fine too. Any comments are welcome. All right.
We've been sitting here for 50 minutes because we're fake, if anything.
Right, fake and gay. Yeah,
fake and gay. Obviously.
Right. So you can follow me on Twitter. Listen to that podcast. What was I going to say? Oh, right. So in the future, I want to maybe do like a video podcast, so people know what we look like, and we'll also edit it so we look great.
A video podcast.
But yeah,
a video podcast. You mean a video like video?
It's a video podcast. That's a thing.
It's not a video podcast.
I mean, that's definitely a thing.
It's called a video blog, if anything.
Okay, it's definitely called a video. Like, there's definitely such thing as a.
Then from video blog, you go to vlog.
Okay. I'll show you on YouTube in a few minutes that there are such things as video podcasts.
Okay, then those people are also stupid.
Zeph, do you have anything you want to plug? Like Twitter, something like that?
No Twitter. Just encourage you to email us.
Oh, check out his web series. What was it called?
Oh, Welcome Home Alice on YouTube. If you just search Welcome Home Alice, wherever we upload this, are we uploading this to YouTube? I don't know where.
Yeah, we're probably going to upload this to YouTube. And if I get some money,
we'll provide links. We'll provide links in the description. Welcome Home Alice. It's a show. I play Dr. Eldridge, this psychiatrist for this one girl named Alice. Funny show. Great casting. It's just, if you don't like it, well, I had fun.
If you don't like it, fuck you. Don't even bother coming back. Just kidding. Just kidding. Seriously,
we just earned our R rating. Congratulations, Tony. You said the F word like 7 times.
That's all right. It's all right. Okay.
Also, go ahead and just search me being an idiot. I'm a theater kid, so go ahead and search Zeph Smith, Z-E-P-H Smith, Dessert Theater, and that should be it. Should pull up a couple hundred views. I'm awesome.
Yeah.
Go check me out.
I don't remember the name of the Spanish video that I mentioned earlier, but if I remember it, I'll post it.
We'll post a link in the description.
I don't think you'll want to see that as much as a web series, but you never know. It's also really bad Spanish in the video, but whatever. Next week, well, actually, we might just record another episode right now if we feel up to it. But
true.
The first episode we have a guest. I'll have an actual quiz that's not just made up on the fly, and then that'll transfer into their stories.
And you know,
we didn't really get that many stories out this time. It was basically just
it was just us goofing around, but that's what a radio podcast whatever is. But since we're going to upload this to YouTube, I guess I encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube page because you need one of those to upload videos and stuff. So subscribe, like, rate, comment, all that good jazz.
Oh, and if you what was it called? If you have any musical talent at all, like literally any, feel free to record a theme song, because I don't know if we're going to keep the theme song, but the original theme song for this podcast was "Play some of the music until we get a theme song. The show starts now." That was the original theme music.
That is it. I'm talent searching. If you can whistle out of your belly button, like, I'll give you $1 million.
That would be actually really cool if you could do that. I don't think
if
it's
you
possible.
Can whistle out of your belly button, I give you $1 million.
But seriously, like, if you could just like sing or just like play guitar and then have someone else sing or like anything, just send it to us at the email and we'll put it on.
And we might feature you on your show if you want to record if you want.
Yeah, we'll plug you too. We won't just like play a song. We'll like tell them who wrote it. So like if anyone, just like for your.
If you want to play an original song, if you want to sing a song that's famous or whatever reason.
Yeah, we might. If you have an original song, like keep it under like 3 minutes, and then we can play it. We'll play it in the middle of the show. Actually, you know what? No limit. I don't even care. And half an hour long song.
If you want to hire us, since we're broke, I don't have a job. I think Toby has a job. Toby have a job?
I don't have a job.
You don't have a job. Okay, we're broke. But we are free. So if you want to hire us to just sit at your house and tell funny jokes,
we could just come and make fun of you if you wanted.
Yeah, we'll do it. Or you know what? If we get famous enough,
there is one requirement: we have to be naked. Okay, yes. It has to be sexual. Okay?
I don't think you know this right now, but we're naked right now.
We are always naked. We're nudists. Yes.
And if we get popular enough, people want to come, you can just sit in on the show and listen in, and all that kind of fun
maybe
stuff.
we could do a live episode one day.
Live
Can you
episode.
even do that on YouTube? I don't think so.
Yeah, you can do live.
But
if
we get 50 listeners in this area, we could book like a place and do like a live episode.
I would do a live episode.
Yeah.
Of course, we have to find 50 people to find us funny though that aren't friends and family. I mean, friends and family.
Even some friends and family, but like in this area, it has to be.
All right, let's try and cap this out at 55 minutes.
All right,
30 seconds.
So I think that's it.
That's it. I'm Zep Smith.
I'm Toby Stewart.
We just gave you my last name.
That's all right. Pedophiles, challenge, come at us. Let's do it.
All right, and
all right.
let's check it out.
Bye.